Blank will live to regret redistricting for congressional seats.
I'm going to say Republicans right now. What we're seeing going on in Texas with a mid-decade redistricting, I think it's something that they're going to see some retaliation from Democrats in other states for them doing this. Texas Republicans facing a lot of pressure from Trump to redraw these lines so that they can get some more House seats. They can keep their very slim majority. You're having other states like New York and California and Illinois, Democratic-controlled states that are now saying, well, if you guys are going to do this, we're going to do the same thing, and you're just going to have more and more and more gerrymandering, and it'll be a numbers game of which states with the most seats can redraw their lines the best. Typically this is only a once-in-a-decade thing. We're now seeing it happen twice in a decade, and who's to say they won't try to do it every couple years?
I was curious behind the constitutional law behind this, because we know that the census dictates constitutionally the Electoral College and those numbers, but Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution does give state legislatures the power, and it doesn't limit it to every decade. So mid-decade redistricting is not constitutionally banned, right. And the Supreme Court grants these state legislatures pretty broad latitude, right? Yep. Racial gerrymandering, 100% banned. If you're drawing, districts that look like snakes winding in the sand, you're probably not okay. But as long as you stick by a couple of good rules, you can do this technically.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why I'm going to say Democrats will live to regret this is because I think they started it. So let's just focus on Texas real quick. So right now, the makeup of the Texas House delegation, they have 25 Republicans and 13 Democrats they send to the U.S. House of Representatives. The new map they want would probably give them 30 really safe Republican seats and 8 Democratic seats. Both Republicans in California and Democrats in Texas, in those House races, they both won the popular vote in the House races by roughly 40%. So you would expect those minority shares in the House delegation to be somewhat similar. Currently, Democrats in Texas, they have about 34% of the House seats. That's close, right? 1/3, a little more than 1/3 versus 2/5. Republican in California House delegation, they only have 17% of the seats. So there is not much juice, I think, left in the squeeze for California. I don't know how else they can really rejigger the state.
Yeah.
Not only has Texas managed to do a map that does that, but also Dave Wasserman, who's really the gold standard on this sort of analysis, he points out that not only are these really Trump solid seats, it increases the number of Hispanic majority seats, which is one of the clearest legal barriers that you can get, right? You don't want to create a bunch of white majority seats in a state like Texas that is majority minority. So you're creating more Hispanic majority seats while concentrating the vote for Trump. And that's pretty impressive. The Texas Democrats that fled the state in the hopes of avoiding, I don't know, Greg Abbott is now saying those who don't return can be kicked out, but we'll see legally where that stands. Kicked out of the House, I mean.
Right.
They went to Illinois, which is one of the most corrupt, egregiously gerrymandered states. You can see just in the map how much less sense that makes than the proposed Texas map that we're talking about. So we'll see, but when you play politics with something like this, like, y'all started it. That's sort of...
It's on a state-by-state basis, too.
Yeah.
So, for instance, in California, if they try to redraw those maps, they have an independent commission that has to oversee these maps being redrawn. And so they have less power than in Texas, where it's more of a partisan procedure of the lawmakers themselves have more control. So in this case, Republicans already have the upper hand, even if states like New York want to try to fight back. Their hands are tied there, but maybe in other states, Illinois or even Maryland, they have a little more leeway. So chance for retaliation there, which I think we're going to see. Illinois, you've got Pritzker, who's governor. California, you've got Newsom, who's governor. They're both 2028, Democratic hopefuls, I think it's safe to say. And they want to prove their chops to the progressive base. And this might be one of the ways that they do that is by fighting back with redistricting.
Yeah. The real villain in all of this comes back down to the Commerce Department, the Census Bureau, which messed up the census for the decade because of COVID. But I digress.